Today, there's a movement going around where people are trying to redeem Ravana. They say he is a great scholar, a master of the Vedas, a powerful ruler, a devout bhakt of Lord Shiva. And yeah, that's all true. Ravana wasn't a fool. He wasn't ignorant. He wasn't weak either. But here's the paradox. Namaste. I hope you all are doing well. As we are approaching Diwali this year, I wanted to do a series of videos that highlights some of the characters in the Ramayana, where I will do a deeper dive, maybe share some perspective or some nuances in their characters and their journeys overall. But Diwali is my absolute favorite time of year. I love Diwali. I love what it represents. I love the holiday itself and the activities, the food, all of that. I think it's just so incredible. It feels so vibrant, and it's something that connects me with dharma and the true meaning behind what Sanatan Dharma is. So this is why I want to dedicate these videos for that purpose of celebrating Diwali, and to maybe give you that sense of anticipation and excitement as we get closer to Diwali. I want to say thank you all so much for being a part of this journey. This is what I love to do. This is my passion. Being a pundit is something that I hold very dear to my heart. It's been one of the most rewarding journeys of my life. I don't take it for granted. I look at it as a responsibility, but the joy and the fulfillment that it brings me is something that I can't compare to anything else. So I thank you all once again for being a part of this journey, this virtual experience. And as I try to share the little bit of knowledge that I have with you all, with the purpose, the sole purpose of trying to spread a little bit more light into this world and to create a positive ripple, hopefully in your life, but if not, at least one person. That's the goal. The goal of these videos is never to go viral. Not saying that I wouldn't welcome that, but the goal is to impact at least one person. So the first character I'd like to feature in this series is none other than Ravana. When we think of Diwali, we think of Sri Ram's return to Ayodhya, the lights, the joy, the vibrancy. But before we can celebrate the light, we must confront the darkness. And no figure embodies that darkness more than Ravana. Today, there's a movement going around where people are trying to redeem Ravana. They say he is a great scholar, a master of the Vedas, a powerful ruler, a devout bhakt of Lord Shiva. And yeah, that's all true. Ravana wasn't a fool. He wasn't ignorant. He wasn't weak either. But here's the paradox. His story shows us that profound knowledge without humility is not light, it's fire. And fire, when uncontrolled, destroys not only the world around us, but eventually ourselves. Ravana was a king of immense talent. He built Lanka into a city of gold. He studied the Vedas and composed beautiful hymns dedicated to Shiva, such as the Shiva Tandav Stotram, which is still sung today. He was very fearless in battle, undefeatable by most. He was no ordinary man. And that's what makes his downfall so important. Because the Ramayana isn't telling us about a simple villain. It's showing us how even the greatest gifts, intelligence, strength, devotion, can be consumed by the poison of ego. Ravana's ego, ahankara, told him he was invincible. His desire, kama, told him he could take whatever he wanted. His lobha, his greed, told him no one could stop him. And his krodha, his anger, told him to silence every voice of reason, even when it came from his own wife or his brother. At the heart of Ravana's character is insecurity. For all his brilliance, he could never stand the idea of being less than someone else. When he saw Sita in the forest, part of it was lust. He was enamored by her. A bigger part of it was about him proving his power. That if he could take Shri Ram's wife, then it would mean that he is greater than him. It was about proving power. He thought, if I could take Rama's wife, then I prove I am greater than him. It wasn't love, it wasn't attraction. It was based on domination. And that is the danger of ego. It transforms even devotion into self-worship. Yes, Ravana was a Shiv Bhakt, but even his devotion was tainted. He prayed not for surrender, but for power, not for wisdom, but for control. He treated the devatas like tools of ambition. And in that, Ravana reflects the truth about human nature. Our greatest enemy isn't the world outside. It's unchecked desires within. And in that, Ravana reflects a truth about human nature. Our greatest enemy isn't the world outside. It's the unchecked desires within. Many people think that Ravana lost on the battlefield when he was confronted by Ram and his arrows. But in reality, he lost much sooner. And he lost to his own arrogance when he allowed adharmic qualities to overtake his dharma. First, intelligence alone doesn't make us wise. You can know every verse of the Vedas, every mantra, every scripture, but if your actions are not guided by dharma, that knowledge is completely wasted. Second, ego blinds us. Ravana had people who loved him, who warned him, who begged him to change course, but arrogance made him deaf. How often in our own lives do we reject advice because our pride can't accept being corrected? Third, desire destroys discernment. Ravana had wealth, power, and status beyond imagination, yet his craving for something that was not his, Sita, undid everything. This is a reminder that chasing what we lack can blind us to the blessings already in our own hands. As we approach Diwali, we often burn effigies of Ravana, celebrating the victory of Ram. But the real question is, do we burn the Ravana within? Because Ravana isn't just a figure in Lanka. He is the arrogance we carry, the greed that tempts us, the anger that blinds us. And just like him, we let those grow unchecked. They will consume all the good within us, no matter how much knowledge or success we hold. Ravana proves that greatness without dharma is just emptiness. That the truest measure of a person is not what they know, but how they live. We should always remember that the goal of knowledge isn't knowledge. The goal of knowledge is action. So this Diwali, let us light the lamp of humility. Let us light the lamp of compassion. Let us light the lamp of dharma so that the Ravana inside us is burned away and the Ram within us can shine. Because the story of Ravana isn't just about his fall. It's about our choice. Will we live by knowledge alone, or will we live by dharma? Yes, Ravana knew the Vedas, he worshipped Shiva, but what did he do with that knowledge and devotion? He used it to inflate his pride, exploit others, and commit acts of violence and lust. In the end, he proves that no matter how intelligent someone is, it's their actions that define them. And this is a warning for us today. In our world, we see people celebrated simply for being powerful, wealthy, or even educated, while their actions spread harm. We excuse ego and call it confidence. We excuse greed and say it's ambition. And we condone exploitation as success. One of the greatest lessons in the Ramayana tells us, do not be fooled. Ravana's story is the reminder that without dharma, greatness collapses into ruin. This Diwali, when the effigies of Ravana burn, let us reject not just the myth of his redemption, but the temptation to excuse the Ravana within.